Hey, people. I was able to catch I-88's comment before he got to change it. L is surely that she is French. L. Spanish. There it is. Take that. So he let me know that he got the French blood in him. And so he say, L in French, that's she. That's the woman. But in Spanish, L is the man and La is feminine. El Senor and La Senorita. So the book bashes on everybody. It don't cut nobody no slag. It bashes on all peoples and religions and gods. And I found a really easy one to read. I read it last night. It's here in Jerimiah 32, and this is the easiest line. I'm going to teach everybody how to read ancient Hebrew in this little short movie here. When this movie's over, you'll read it better than the rabbis. So this is talking about a people. It's talking about their ascent. It's talking about reason. And then it talks about colors, flags, and heraldry, and the meaning of these things. And then it talks about stars and codes the time in the stars. And then it tells the story about ancient Egypt and when he was there, and gives us a bunch of clues about the language of ancient Egypt and the people of Egypt. And then it talks about, the Lord God behold. And so it has some hidden curses in here and lets you know which God that you're calling on. And it's a really long chapter. It took me all night to read it, and easy it was. I did have to look up some words, but it's a lot of long lines. It goes down 44 lines. So it might take me about 10 movies to get through all this. But I want to make it short and read this first line. It's really easy to read. Everybody can read it. And so this is the did, the did in first. In first was the word. And that's to simplify it out, if you do a letter meaning chart. And then the D is the hand, and it's also through. Did is the hand, D is the hand in Egypt. And then in first. The did in first. But if you were a hand in Egypt, had dauber. A dauber is a tool used for planting. It's this planting dauber, and it has lines every inch, so you know how many inches you're planting that seed. All the hands will have one. You tell them to go to the third line, 3 inches. Whatever depth you need to plant the seed. So had dauber, and then this starts with an A and it's rise. This is the same word as Asher, the sons of Israel. And so if you look in the meaning of Asher, you see it doesn't mean that. All the names were given for a reason. You can see where he's named here, his name, and it's instead Leah, I am happy in Asher make. For will call me blessed, the Asher wing. In the nut, what? Frata. Same to rush. And so it here in the last of it, it reads backwards. It's just a part of a word like the rest of them. And so it's RS. And a lot of our words in English end with RS. But the dauber, it also means the D, and then N, and then R, first, the beginning. And so the D in the beginning was here. It was just a triangle. It was the letter D. It's where your word delta comes from. They're always shaped in a triangle. And this is represented in Egypt as the dauber. He's got a heart on. You see the gods don't have it. Only the pharaohs and the kings have a heart on. Got a heart on for your job. Just the kings have the dauber, and it's this triangle. And so if you were a proper Englishman, you would read this as had of a rush. Had of a rush. And so the dauber rush. And it's, the first in the morning, you wake up with the dauber and you rush, you get you a quickie is what that's saying. Had of a rush. Got a quickie. And then EYE. And it reads backwards and forwards here, so it reads the EYE, I, and then YE. And it starts with the A, so it reads backwards, L. I yell. And had of a rush, I yell. And then it reads backwards and forwards again, and it's Vav, means connected, it means to. To Heimer, Jeremy, who. And so in the rest of the Bible, when it says my people, it's here of L, of man, that, call, and then backwards and forwards after this tack, I am to call them homie, my homies. You can see here in Chronicles, and who are my people is to my homie, O-M-M-I, to my homie. So this word, is had of a rush, and I yell to Heimer, Jeremy, J-R-M-Y, to Heimer, Jeremy, who. And so Heimer is a German name. The Heim comes from the farmhouse, the home. But it comes from the Heim, alternative form, Helma, the blood. And so not necessarily the area, but the people. My home. Old Norse at home. And so the word that came to is had in first raise I yell. And so it's the gods that are talking here. Gods and angels. I yell to Heimer, Jeremy. To my home, Jeremy. Jeremy is short for German. And so to Heimer, Jeremy, who, H-U, to Heimer, Jeremy. It reads backwards first. The High, H-A-I-M-E-R, Heimer, and then the other way, Jeremy, the Jeremy who. And then this is genius. This from at. It's for people that didn't know, read it, but that means the mom, M-A-M. You read it backwards and you get here, M-A-M, and then go to the other end. So if this was a D, you could write mad. Some people would read mad, but it reads mom, dad. And that's when you're mad, when you hear mom, dad, I have something to tell you. You're fixing to get some bad news. I had dinner with Bill Cosby. But so this is mom. And so out of a rush, I yell to Homer, to my home German who. Mom, to, M-A-M, and then T-O, and then T-I-E. To mom, to tie, we, Vesent, V-S-S-N-T. And so we, W-E-V, we've a scent. And so from the mother's blood, we've a scent. And I figured out what's going on with here now. And I don't know, it looks like it's so obvious here. It looks like he's showing what they have done. They come back, because the books before this all have this where they've changed the word. And so he's showing how the word can be changed to have a different meaning. And so now it's your homie on your mother's side, from ascent. But here it's to we vesen, vest or best, and we're better than best and bash, and so you're changing sides here. On this is your homie, from your mother's ascent, and over here it's your enemy, and so he's showing it, how they can change the meanings by changing one word. And so we'll read it as have ascent, we've ascent, we come from the mom, my homie Jeremy who, mom to tie, we've ascent. We've we have blood in our mother's side of the family. Has writ, Hosrit, has written. And so this has writ, if there's more in it, has riddles, LX has riddles. But it's, has writ, let's, LTZ, Tazadi, let's defy who. Has writ, let's defy who. And then this little symbol under the M, as you read this, Michael, M, and then come to this end, KL, the Michael milk from Judah. Let's defy who Michael milk from Judah. They assassin. EY is they. And so AE is ash. This AE, and that's why it was written this way, because if the A is on the front of the word, you have to read this backwards. And so it's split up this way, so the AE is ash. You replace with ES. ES, and then the dot in the S makes this two more S's. So you have three S's. To they assassin. Assassin. They want to assassinate the milk, the Michael's milk from. The shaman, SHMNE. The shaman hears so. The shaman hear, ERSO. Here sows, SOS, sows reason, RESNE. The assassin shaman here so is reason of never, NVU, L of never. Could, KD, could, Rax, Czar. Never could rack Czar. And so Rax, is your back in the quarters, your Rax is the bed. Never could bed the Czar. The Czar is a planted king head. Talking about two homey Jermies. And so it's not written by Jerimiah. It's about Jeremiah, the Jeremy, the Heimer Jeremy. And so it's an ancient story, and it's talking about Michael taking over in Scotland. And they want people to believe that this is the cross of St. Andrew's cross. But everybody on board the boat recognized this flag, and it's the Michael flag. And we call it the Mike, and L is the God. God is the Word. And so the meaning of it is Michael. It's the M flag. And it's here in this word for the home of the Germans. It's to they, Vav connected, EY, they, Marie, the mariners. Where your word mariner come from? The God of the Marines is Virgin Mary. To they, Mary, the oceans make first from the mariners. So I read a bunch of good stuff in here, and let me just shoot this second line real quick. I'm not even going to explain it, but it WAZ was Heil, HYL, was Heil, Michael, milk from, in Velitzer is, the skin, the veil of the XR, the czar is, the skin the czar is, all from leisure, you're useless, to the Jeremy who in Navy, in EN, and then two N's, NVY, in the Navy is. To the German in the Navy, you're useless, Michael. To the German in the Navy is. And it'll tail down lower, because their flag was the bonnet, BONTUT, the bonnet, what? To raise, the rose. You see the line in Asher here now, it can read many different ways. And so here it starts with A, so it reads RS, to rise, the first consumed, to rise. And then back this way, ROSA, RASA, the rosa, the red bonnet, what? To raise the red bonnet, what? This is a bonnet. And the red bonnet was here. And it means, the red on the cross means no quarter would be given. You see the quarters, 4 quarters here, all end up in death. And so when you're in the Navy and you're at war, Michael is worthless. You can't take no quarters, because any quarters you put on your boat, that's less days at sea for you. Got to feed them, you got to watch them. We take no quarters, we cut them all. So they'll say that the Mike flag means my vessel is stopped and making no way through the water. It means you're useless. But the meaning is in this spelling like this, and it was Heil. Heil Hitler was Heil. And Michael is MKL, from cull, milk, from. You read it this way, M from, and then to the other side, KL, to cull, and then milk, from. And so to cull the milk is the cream, to get the cream off the top. And that's what it means. It means quarters given to officers, quarters given to the cream. Quarters given to the blue bloods. And that's where they used to have war. They would tell you, don't shoot the officers, just shoot the soldiers. And then it'll explain the rest of this in this chapter too. And so it's talking about the history of these flags, and the flag of the red claw, and the fleur de lis here represents the Virgin Mary, the ocean. And you see that here again in line 3 where it's got the mark under. And so it's the rise, the rose claws. Rise, the red claw, what's defy you? Milk. The red claw to defy the milk from Michael.
Don't forget. Hooty hoot, hooty hoot. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.